Hey guys, Jeff here, Dice Setters. Pete Helm, I need your shipping address because you were one of the winners. And I got Denny, I've got your address, and Pete, I have your address. Check this out. Got these last weekend. I'll be sending them with the dice. Ellis Island, Wish You Were Beer. They make their own beer there. I have that shirt, and I also have that shirt. And I'll be sticking one of these shirts in with your dice. And thanks for all those that participated. And I was glad I was able to get more dice, so we'd have more winners. Um, I will be in Vegas next weekend. So if you want me to do the bubble craps again, I can. That's not a problem. But if you liked it, sit there and tell me, hey, I liked it. I liked more. If you didn't like it, well, I don't know what to say. Just don't say anything, and I'll take it as I'll never do that ever again. But if you sit there and say, you know what, I play bubble craps all the time, and I have a strategy for you, I want to hear about it. Email me your strategy, dicesetters@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to sit there and play it. The next weekend, I'm at Ellis Island. I'll even go live, and we'll sit there and put your strategy in and see what happens. Can't be any worse than the way I did it. But the last two times I played it that way, I won at least $100 and thought, well, that was pretty cool. I should do this more often. After last week, I don't know. Um, this week, we're going to talk about ways to win more at craps this year. And there's 10 little talking points, and hopefully some of them will help you. All of them will help you. Sometimes you sit there and you're all up to go to the casino. You're all out to, win some money. And then it doesn't happen. It absolutely just didn't happen. Sometimes you have to sit there and reflect back. What on earth did I do wrong? So these tips should help you. You're like, oh, that's what I did, or I shouldn't have done that, or whatever. And hopefully this will be a help to you. The first one is practice your dice set. Even if it's just a cardboard box on your living room table, I don't care. Practice, practice, practice your dice set. If it's 10 minutes a day, it's 10 minutes a day. But practice throwing, practice your dice set, and eventually it just comes naturally of however you throw. Whether it's the backhand, the flat, however it is you throw, practice, practice, practice. Number two is always come with optional dice sets. I'll sit there and use the one I think would be appropriate. And okay, well, it didn't work. I'll wait till it goes around the table again. Okay, it didn't work. So now I'm like, well, should I try it 3 times in a row or should I try a different one? So on my phone, I have dice sets. My memory is absolutely horrible. So in my notes on my phone, I'll have dice sets. So it'll sit there and tell me what they do. And so, you can take your phone out at the craps table, but you can't do it, here. So I sit there and I turn my back and I'll sit there and do it. And I'll go, okay, now I know what to do. But if you don't have your phone, or if you don't have them on your phone, it's really hard to have an optional die set, especially if the one you're using just isn't cutting the mustard. Number three, play with the bankroll that you set out to play with. I know a lot of times we bring extra money, for gas and for food and for tips and for whatever it might be, and you're like, okay, well, I just blew through my bankroll. Now what do I do? Well, it's time to find something else to do. But this is what I do. This might be a great tip for you. I come always with two wallets to the casino. They don't have to be different sizes. They can be the same size. It don't matter. One is money for the craps table, and one is for everything else. And you just don't dip into the money for whatever else. This one here is made. This is a baseball leather, and got one of my wristbands around it to hold it together. And this one doesn't hold much money. Those are fives and ones. If you put too much money in it, you just cannot sit there and fold it correctly. But I looked for something that would get me a bigger wallet because if you're playing slot machines and you end up winning, 10 grand, holding 10 grand in cash it's difficult to do. This is made by Saddle and Hide Company, and all it does is it holds money. That's the only thing it does. That's how much money I have in it, and it fits in my cargo pants. I can button up my cargo pants. It doesn't go anywhere. If you have smaller pockets, you might not want one this big. I got this from Amazon. But believe it or not, you sit there and put that all in there, and it fits. It doesn't wrinkle up. It doesn't seem to be like in the way when you're driving or when you're sitting down. One for playing, one for everything else. And once the one for playing is gone, it's time to move on to something else. That's what I do. The hardest thing about gambling is winning. It truly is, because now you're up. Now what are you going to do? And a lot of times we sit there and say, "Well, we're going to play harder." Most times that ends up not so well. So once you get to a certain level, that's when you sit there and say, "Okay, I'm going to take this, and I'm not going to use it." You still have your bankroll, of course. Say if you came with 2 grand and now you have 3 grand, well, take 1 grand, put it in the other pocket. Forget about it. It's casino money. You're still playing with your bankroll. But you don't want to sit there and go, "Okay, I got 3 grand. I'm forgetting my everything these tips are going to tell me, and I'm going to lose it all." That's not what we want to do. Number 4, come with a known winning strategy. Just because you saw it on YouTube, just because you saw it on Facebook, and they're like, "Oh, look at all this money we won," make sure you go through the process of trying it. I've actually posted one here, and it did phenomenal. And then I tried it, and it was scary bad. It was really bad. And I sat there and told you the next week, don't do it. It was bad. Make sure you've tried this before. You don't want to sit there, go to the table, and lose all your money at one whack. But come with a winning strategy. Number 5 is you stick with it. A lot of times you'll sit there and see something being rolled over and over again with a random roller. Say it's something crazy like midnight. The guy has rolled 4 midnights in a row. But your strategy does not include the field, and your strategy does not include putting money on midnight. Stick to your strategy. The odds of him rolling more midnights, if it happens, it happens. But if you're going, that's a good opportunity for you to lose money. Stick with your strategy. This is a Kenny Rogers song. Number 6, know when to walk away. Sometimes you can be up. Sometimes a dealer can do something to disturb your mojo. Sometimes a fight might break out behind you or in front of you or beside you. Know when to sit there and walk away. Sit there and say, "You know what? I'm going to catch you guys in an hour." Sometimes the pit boss might sit there and all of a sudden just be mad at you. I've had that happen. Sometimes it's better just to sit there and gather your chips and sit there and say, "Well, I'm going to go to a different table, go to a different casino, or I'm going to hang out the room for a little while, let everything cool down, and then I'm going to come back and make sure I'm in my right frame of mind so I can sit there and roll the dice correctly." Know your table before betting, say, $160 across. If you've never been at that table, it would not be a good strategy for when it's your turn to roll, do $160 across. I'm just saying. I mean, I believe in luck, but I don't believe in that much luck. Know your shooter before doing $160 across. If it's a random shooter, I wouldn't throw $160 across. I just wouldn't. That's my opinion, but everyone is entitled to whatever they think. But I wouldn't do it. Number 9, set goals. I set a goal. I was at South Point. I think I was at South Point. Yeah, I was at South Point. I was at South Point, and my goal was to have money on the table that was like laying a minimum all the way across on my opening roll and have it working. And I did that every single time I would my turn came up. I never lost that money I put across. It was what, 36 bucks, 35, 36, 36 bucks. But the whole entire night, I never sat there and lost that money. I never sat there and sevened out on my opening roll before the point was set. And that was my goal. That was something that I thought was absurd. That was something I thought was crazy. But set weird goals for you for that. Sit there and say, you know what, I'm going to, whatever it is, set goals for you for this year and for projected years to come. But that was one of my goals, and I sat there and conquered it. I conquered it in one night. And sitting there putting money across the table before the point's set and having them on, that doesn't bother me anymore because I know I can do it. There are times that you go, whoops, that didn't work. But definitely set goals for yourself. Set goals for yourself that, you know what, when I'm up by $500, I'm going to take that $500 and put it in my pocket. That way, when I lose everything, I'll still have $500 in my pocket. Set goals for you. Small goals, large goals. The last one, number 10, tip your dealer during the game. I tip my dealer during the game, and they are a big help for me. They also make sure the pit boss knows, everything's cool. It gets me out of a lot of arguments. If I sat there and said I had money there, they're going to believe me. I'm tipping the dealers. Well, the dealers at Ellis, they know me. And they'll sit there and see me playing slots, and they'll sit there and talk to me. They'll come up and talk to me. The reason why is because I tipped them. Each one of them knows me. As I pass by, hey, are you going to play? Yeah, I'll be there in a little bit. Okay. They know me by name, which is, I just think is kind of odd. It reminds me of a small town I used to live in that even the bankers would know your name. And being from a big city like California, that was unheard of. They don't know who my name is, but you're in line and they sit there and say, hey, Jeff, and it's just kind of odd. But that's the way the dealers are. And it surprises other people around me because they're like, well, who are you? But you don't know who I am. It's okay. And a bonus tip. I always sit there and want to give a bonus tip. And this one's very, very important. Free drinks are free drinks for a reason. Let me say that one more time. Free drinks are free drinks for a reason. Don't let them be a hindrance. I'm not going to say don't do it. I do it. But definitely make sure they don't become a hindrance. You work hard for your money. You come to play craps because you want to win. When you're winning, you're happy. And when you're not winning, you're not happy. And add other stuff to that, like alcohol and stuff like that, it might be a disastrous combination. Again, it's fine, but don't go over, especially if you're a dice setter. Now, if you dice set at home or anywhere, wherever you practice at, and you dice set having one beer, or 2 beers, or whatever, and you get accustomed to throwing just perfectly that way, that doesn't mean that when you come to the casino, don't do the same thing. For sure, if you're customary to having 1 drink, 2 drinks, or whatever as you're tossing your dice, for sure do it. But if you're not accustomed to practicing that way, I would not suggest you doing that at the table when you have live money on the table. It's just not good. I've seen bad things happen. I've seen people lose lots and lots of money just because of something being free. That's it for this week. Hit the like button. Definitely be a subscribe to my channel. It's free. All it does is just tell people around you that like craps that, hey, this is a good craps channel. Maybe they should check it out. It makes my channel out to more people. If you could do that, that'd be great. And let me know about the bubble craps. Did you like it? Did you not like it? I didn't go back and watch it. I try my hardest not to do that because you're like, oh, why did I say that? Or why did I do this? But if you liked it, sit there and say, you know what? I like the live craps and I want more of it. And if you have a strategy for playing bubble craps, sit there and tell me what your strategy is. I can sit there and do that. I can even record it and then put it on, on a Thursday afternoon and show you it. Or I can go live, however we want to do. But tell me if you liked it, or if you didn't like it, you can tell me that too. That's not a problem. I've got some wide shoulders. I can take it. Have a good one, guys. Later.